Okay, due to some audio issues, my first upload of this video was you couldn't hear me, but I have since gotten that fixed, so you can hear me now. Okay, this is my re-recording of Ethan Polib's my recording of my reaction to Polib's reaction to Kyle Curtis's statement. And I will be reacting to the statement as well as Ethan's reaction to it. So it's like two in one, I guess. Whatever. Okay, let's start.
So Kyle came in, we probably talked for 10 minutes, something like that. Asked him how he was. One question that I'm getting from a lot of people, I'm just going to answer this. He did not say where he was. He jokingly said that he was in Mexico, but I don't think that he was on Mexico. The other question everybody's asking me was, what did Kyle say what he's going to do next? He did not, and I didn't think to ask him because I was going live with Uni, and we didn't talk for very long. But the other thing that I have for you is the statement. So I'm just going to go ahead and just read this. Here is what Kyle wanted me to convey to you, to the community. I have not been on YouTube recently because it is a past thing. I have never been as happy as...
I'm not sure what that means. It is a past thing. Other than him stealing the channel. Yeah. Okay.
I am now. McCrae is a nuisance that pops up when there's a warrant out for my arrest.
Okay, I don't get what he means by that. If I was in the same situation as Steve, I would be a nuisance too. If there was a warrant out for someone's arrest that did what Kyle did, I would be bugging him not on his ass non-stop in any way I could.
My life is happy. I don't need subscriber numbers for validation like some others do. I'm dating...
Okay. Let's look at that statement. I don't need subscriber numbers for validation. Why did you steal the non sequitur show then? That was a perfect example that you did need it, because the non sequitur show was growing, and you saw that it was popular, so you decided to take it for yourself. I could get into some other stuff, but I'm not going to.
The man of my dreams, and he fully supports me. I hope that everyone is listening to this is happy. If you're constantly chasing subscribers and numbers, you'll end up as miserable as that son of a bitch, Steve McCrae, and no one wants to be like him. I love you all, Kyle Curtis.
Okay. If you constantly change your subscribers and numbers, you're gonna end up as miserable as that son of a bitch, Steve McCrae. Okay. My God. From what I know, Steve doesn't chase subscriber numbers. He doesn't give a shit. He's actually said it himself. He is as happy having 13 people watching him as he does having 100 people watching him. And the same goes for me, even though I'm a lot smaller. I've gotten new subscribers since then, but I'm just as happy down where I am as I would be having 1 million subscribers. I mean, that's not why I joined YouTube. Okay, it'll be as miserable as that son of Steve McQuay, and nobody wants to be like him. I don't know. He's pretty kick ass. Okay, okay, now for his reaction to the statement, and my reaction to his reaction.
That is the full statement. And he didn't make it to just me. He made it to a whole room full of people, a whole Discord room full of people. It was not, me alone, him and I talking one-on-one. We have not had any kind of one-on-one conversation in about a year now. I think it was last August, I want to say. Maybe September. Whenever the last episode of Discuss was. And I think that was August. We spoke maybe a week later when I said, I'm leaving for my mental health. I'm taking a break. So,
I believe that is when Stephen McCoy was getting all over your ass. And I don't necessarily blame him. You were supporting a fraud store. Sorry, dude. That's just how it is.
So, the other thing that I told him publicly in front of everyone, I said, as your friend, I encourage you to turn yourself in. You have warrants out for your arrest. You need to go answer that. And everybody's asking me, do I think he's going to do that? Do I think he's going to turn himself in? I do. I don't know when. I hope it's...
It's interesting that he didn't convey Kyle's response to that. Does anybody find that interesting? He said he told Kyle to turn himself in. But how did Kyle respond? That's what I'm wondering.
Really soon. Because as much as I enjoyed creating with Kyle and would love to create with Kyle again, he's not answered a judge when a judge told him to appear. And he can't do that. Right? It doesn't matter who you are. If judge tells you got to be in court, you got to be in court. And Kyle needs to go and see about these warrants and deal with this case. He does.
See about the deal with this case. What do you mean deal with this case? I'd say solve your time. Because he is going to have to solve time. No matter what, he's going to have to solve time. I mean, that's it. He's done for a while.
Yes. And I want to see him do that. I have no idea if he's going to. I don't know. The other question people ask me is, do I think he's going to come back to YouTube? I don't know. I hope so. I told him if he comes back, I would love to do another show with him. I'd love to do something else with him. I don't know what it would be, probably like we did before, where we interview people or talk about a topic, The
whole walking with Kyle again, I mean, I would be very careful, man. If someone steals something from you once, from anyone once, a thief, I don't know, man. I don't know. A thief can be trusted again, but I mean, not right away. You have to earn that trust back. I mean, for me at least, you would have a long hard road of earning that trust back. But that's me.
I don't know if it would be on this channel or another channel. I don't know. I miss the guy.
I think that's a clue that Ethan probably doesn't trust Kyle as much as he says he does. That's just what I think.
I miss creating with the guy, but he's got his legal stuff that he's got to handle first. And once that's handled, if he wants to come back and he wants to do a show, sitting here right now in front of you, yes, I would do that show with him. Will that change? I don't know. I don't know. Before we get on to anything else, because I know...
Yeah, why won't he say Kyle's in deep shit? I don't get it. I mean, because Kyle's in deep shit. I'm not sure why I won't say it.
A lot of people are here just for this and they don't care about anything else. What questions do you have for me or about Kyle? Go ahead and tag me in the chat. I will definitely...
Okay, let's react. Now, let's react to the questions he is getting. What the heck? Yeah.
I'll definitely answer them. Let's see what we got. I'm going through. Eric says physical gel incoming. Let me get that up. There we go. Maybe.
Oh, okay. I know it's.
What I'm hearing, Holy Spackle says, is a middle finger to Steve. Yeah. It kind of feels like... It kind of feels like Kyle's letting Steve define him, and Kyle doesn't need to do that,
No. Kyle is not letting Steve define him. Kyle defined himself this way. And that's all there was to it.
I think if Kyle just went and directly confronted all of this and dealt with it, it would kind of relieve a lot of that. And there would be less of a... Steve wouldn't have as much influence over Kyle's life.
Steve does not have influence over Kyle's life. It's not Steve. Steve's not doing anything. The courts are doing it. The justice system is doing it. Turn yourself in, Kyle. It's the best thing you can do right now. I mean...
And right now, Steve has a lot of influence over Kyle's life because Kyle has warrants out for his arrest because of not appearing for the thing with Steve,
The thing with Steve? What? Why did he describe it that way? I don't get it. I don't get why he describes it that way. The thing with Steve. The court case. I don't know.
And I'd like to see Kyle just be able to get past all that and grow past that. I know he's probably scared of going and spending any kind of time incarcerated again. I get it. I don't want to spend any time.
Who cares if you're scared? You have to do it. You committed a crime, dude.
Time incarcerated either, right? Like that's it. It doesn't sound very fun.
I'm afraid to go to jail, so I'm gonna learn and hopefully not go to jail. What? That never works. You always get whatever. It's just a stupid thing to do.
It sounds very much like the opposite of fun, but he's got to come. He's got to come deal with it. Tyler says, only one question matters. What did he get with that $60,000? Well, obviously he got this suit, right? I mean, look at that. Look at that. It's a glamour shot. That is a glamour shot.
No, actually, it's not. I've seen glamour shots, and that's just not glamour. No way. Not even close.
where I think the $60,000 went myself. Secret Squirrel says, does Kyle need more money for a $400 jail suit? I don't think so. I don't think so. Linda says, I'm just hoping Kyle is okay, and I feel the same way. You know, he's been through a lot. Listen, he's done a lot of wrong things. I do not dispute that. Kyle has done wrong things. He has lied, and he has been deceptive. There's evidence that it looks like he may have forged documents that he gave to a court.
He did.
I am not brushing past that. That's.
He forged several documents that he gave to the court. I mean, the live streams about it. It looks like Ethan doesn't trust the live streams, apparently, that have been done showing the forgeries, and yeah, that's weird. I don't know why I wouldn't trust it. I mean,
really, really bad. But Kyle is a great creator on this platform. And if he can handle these legal issues, I would love to create with him again, because I think we create things together very, very well. Todd says, I feel like Kyle needs to grow up and show up. And Todd, I agree. He does. He absolutely does. Eric says, Kyle would have won just for showing up. Avoidance is an MFer, yeah.
What does that comment mean? Kyle would have won for just showing up. No, he would have been arrested again for something else, if I'm not mistaken, and held over for that, and he would probably be in jail for a while. Yes. And I don't think he would get bail for any of those things. So he would be held over for trial, and he would definitely get years for what he's done.
I do. I think if he'd just shown up and... I don't know, man. It's a confusing situation. It's a confusing situation. Elliot says, is Batsy and you well? Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, Batsy is doing stuff with the toddlers. I told her about the stream. I was like, hey, I'm going to go live at 2 o'clock. I sent her the link, but I think she's hanging out with the toddler today. So, Sinister Porpoise.
Wow, that was a perfect pause. Does that say anything about how he feels about this person, which, if I'm not mistaken, is one of Steve McCoy's trolls that has been on his ass for how many years? I don't know if this reaction to that name is telling it all. That's what I think he has tells. He wants to be... I don't know. Never mind. That's not what this video's about.
Asks, how much is I think you mean 60,000 divided by 2, because Python shell tells me something different than Steve does. You know, I'm just not really good enough at math to answer that question. I'm so sorry.
When's the last time Sinister Porpoise has talked to Steve McCoy? I think it was a long fucking time ago. Pretty sure it was.
Secret Squirrel says, yeah, he did the wrong thing. He is still doing the wrong thing. He needs to deal with it and get over it. Get it over with. Yeah. I mean, listen, if you're ever confronting legal issues, just deal with them. Just go straight into them and say, you know, here's what happened, here's what I did or didn't do, and you just confront it. Because avoiding it's not going to help you in the long run. You just got to go.
It sounds like he's still trying to defend Kyle. I don't know how anyone else feels. That's just what I get from it.
You got to face it head on. Todd says, do you think he's finally going to deal with it or wait for it to be forced? I don't know, man. My hope is that the reason that he popped his head up in the community again is because he's planning to deal with it. That's my hope. I have zero proof, zero reason to think that other than, you know, just knowing Kyle, just being associated with him and knowing how he he dips his toes into things as, you know, a little bit at a time until he's ready to go in full force. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that this was the first sign that he's gonna start to take this thing seriously. Yeah, Lady Starfire says the same thing. They both need to man up and act like adults, get it handled and over with. I just agree. Oops, almost said something twice. Okay, Mark says, Kyle has done wrong is one thing, drawing a line and not having anything to do with him is how I deal with that. Yeah, Mark, and I agree with that. You know, what Kyle's done here isn't, you know, violent or anything. He's just not shown up for court, which is stupid, but he hasn't. The only person he's hurt is himself.
Like I said in the last video, that you couldn't hear, if you want to narrow it down to this infraction, yeah. The only thing is he's not shown up for court, but in the why he hasn't shown up for court, and the reason for that, I mean, these crimes are pretty fucking serious. I mean, there's like felonies, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, forgery, perjury, I mean, definitely forgery. I mean, perjury's in there too, because, yeah, these are some serious crimes, but Ethan here is narrowing it down to just not showing up for court. And I think that's dishonest, honestly.
Which I think he needs some help. Mentally, you know, I don't think mentally he's in the right place if he's avoiding these types of things. But he's not gone out and done anything to hurt anyone else. He's just hurt himself. So I don't feel like that's something that would make me not want to associate with him just because he's being dumb. You know, he's not injured anyone.
It would make me not want to walk with them after being proven that you have the compunction and you lack the that you're able to forge things in order to try and get what you want. I wouldn't walk with a person like that, because what else is he gonna do to get what he wants? What if you're walking with him and he wants your channel for some reason, and he goes and does it again? I mean, I wouldn't trust him.
Or done anything that would, you know, cause harm to anybody, despite what some people might tell you. We aren't going there.
All he did was to Steve. He stole a pretty successful channel from Steve that was on its way to becoming more popular. I mean, it's had some pretty epic guests, and Kyle ruined that by trying to steal the channel.
But the only person he's hurting right now is him. So I think if he gets his head on straight, he'd be great to create with again. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe, like I said, maybe I'll feel differently whenever that time comes. But right now, I would absolutely create with him again. Banther Tracks. Is Kyle avoiding just as much to annoy Steve than anything? Look, it feels like that, right? It feels like he's got a way to just annoy Steve, and that's why he's doing this. I don't know that, but that's what it feels like. It, certainly looks...
Did he laugh? I thought because he's amused by Steve being bugged? Or is it some kind of tick or something? Because I have a tick like that. I laugh every once in a while. It's a tick I have. And it's just something that happens. And sometimes people don't understand why I laugh. The little that I do, it's a tick that I have. Every once in a while I laugh. Just for no reason. It doesn't make any sense to me either. Whatever.
Quacks and walks like that duck. Titan Uranus says, NSS, the gift that keeps on giving.
Not sure what he meant by that.
Excuse me. Secret Squirrel says, it's not like he's done a fundraiser for fake cancer or something like that. It's between him and another. Exactly, Secret Squirrel.
Ilya Moon's fake fundraiser and Kyle's fundraiser aren't exactly the same. But Kyle's fundraiser was to protect him was to help Kyle in his criminal efforts, I guess. I mean, if everybody knew that donated to him that he had committed a crime, which they probably did, I mean, could you argue for aiding and abetting? I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about the law, but that seems like a possibility to me.
Exactly. You know what? When Kyle did a fundraiser to pay a lawyer, you know what he did with the money? He paid a lawyer. Oh. I'm just saying. Di says, to be honest, unless a person has been in the position where they've had a warrant out for the rest, they don't know what they're talking about. And that's true. No, you have a good point, Di, and I haven't, right? The worst...
A way to defend Kyle again. If I had a warrant out for my arrest and I knew it, I'd be scared shitless and all that shit too, but I would go in. I wouldn't be at the point where I don't want out for my arrest in the first place, but I mean, that's just me.
First I've had to deal with is traffic stuff, so you're right. I don't understand the mindset the way maybe I haven't been in that position. So you make a good point, and I have to keep that in the back of my head that I haven't been there, and so I don't know what it's like. Angry Roach says Kyle did do something very wrong. Kyle killed the channel. Boy, we could go back and forth for hours on that one.
I would like to. Actually, I would like to talk about that a little. I mean, I have him on Discord. I think I will. I might just talk to him about that. We'll see.
All we know is that the channel is dead. And Todd says, April, being in a chat to get all sides of a story and doing my due diligence to make an educated guess as to what the truth actually is, and then it cut you off. There's something in the settings that's cutting off the longer messages. I'm sorry, guys. I'll get that fixed for next chat. Yeah, and Todd, you're fine here. Obviously, you're here just asking questions to try to find out. So I'm glad you're here. I am.
Oh, is that Todd, the guy I know? I can't tell. I don't know. Probably is, though. Okay.
Di says, this is not a dental or hospital appointment. It's years of incarceration. Well, I and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think that the offense of just not showing up for court would equal years of incarceration. I think, he could see a little bit of time.
I think she was talking about the other stuff. The forgery and breach of contract and everything else. That is yours in prison. Definitely.
If the judge wants him held until they can have a court date or something, but I don't think he's facing any kind of significant incarceration time. Let's see. What else have we got? Daryl says, I was there. It was Steve who killed the channel. A lot of people feel that way.
But it wasn't.
Di says, hi, man. Anyone who's went through any sort of court case will know how stressful it can be if you're facing time. Sure. No. And Di, I agree. I know that Kyle is stressed the hell out over this. Who wouldn't be? I'm just saying I haven't been in that situation to know what that level of stress is like. I'm sure it's...
I would say it doesn't matter. Kyle needs to turn himself in. That's it. That's all you have to say. But for some reason it sounds like Ethan is just defending the guy.
I'm sure it's suffocating to know that, oh God, I have to go to jail. Like I have to, even if it's for a night, even if it's for 5 hours or something. I don't want to go. And I imagine Kyle doesn't want to go, and I imagine anyone else doesn't want to go. So I get it. I do I understand it conceptually. I just have never been in the position to have the experience to know, to really convey a true sense of what I would do in that situation. I get why Kyle doesn't want to, but at the same time, this isn't. Again, he's not going to go to prison for 5 years or anything. He might be held for a week or two, something like that. Okay. Tony Designs. Hi, Tony. It's just nuts, is what it is. Dice says the problem is if he hands himself in, he will get remanded in jail till the case comes up. They will set a bail he can't pay. Right, and that's what I'm saying. He might have to.
I'm thinking he's not gonna get bail at all. They're gonna revoke that shit. There's no way he gets bail. No, I don't. No way.
Have to sit there for a while, until they can put it on the docket. But it's not significant, it and he may not, the judge may not order him remanded into custody. So the judge may just say, okay, we're here. We know where you are. Do you promise to report? And Kyle may say, yes, I promise to be here on that day. And the judge may let him may let him leave and come back. Remand him into his own custody.
I don't think so. I really doubt that.
I don't know. Nobody knows. Only the judge can make that determination. I would say what's most likely to happen is that, yes, he'll have to stay in jail for a week, maybe a month, until they until they can put him on the docket. So.
And then when they find him guilty, it's gonna be at least 5 years. That's what I think. Maybe more, but at least 5. That's some pretty big crimes that he committed. So yeah, I'm saying at least 5 years.
Lady Starfire says, I think Kyle made some mistakes that will bite him in the ass. These are his mistakes, and he should own up to them. Yeah. I agree. CJ says, can you get monetization back? Yes, CJ, that won't be a problem. What I have to do is I have to get 4,000 watch hours again. We're at like 2,000 right now, so I just got to put out some content, and people got to watch it. But it should be, a month or two, and we'll get there. And in the meantime, you can join Patreon, patreon.com/EthanPlaysLive. Okay. Ooh, Bantha Tracks. I'm glad you brought that up. Hold on, I need some nicotine.
Is he a Unilock clone? Is he gonna become a Unilock clone? I think so.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up. This community, the skeptic community that Kyle and Steve are both part of, that I think that the GDC is in, and the GDC spawned all of this stuff, right? Like you start with the GDC, and that's how you get to non-sec. I mean, you started earlier maybe with like R and Ron stuff on YouTube, but the GDC community coming in and non-sec kind of spawning out of it, and you've got all these people that were on GDC that now have huge channels like Ocean and Nate the Lawyer and Dragnot and anyway, that whole community. I think there is... Everyone in that community questions, right? Because that's what a skeptic does. A skeptic sees something and says, I don't know. What about this? What about this? There's a lot of whataboutism and skepticism. And that's okay. That's kind of what happens in skepticism is you're testing things, and you test something by asking questions. Scientific method and all that, right? There is a certain ego that must be present inside a person in order to want to entertain other people, right? There is a validation, as Kyle said in his statement, that I get when I go live and there are people that want to talk to me, that like or dislike my videos, that leave me comments, that join my Discord, that comment on my Discord. Right? There's a validation that I get that feeds my ego, and that's true for anyone. But those of us who are performers tend to be more self-centered than people who aren't. That's why we like to perform, because we like the validation. Man, excuse me, I acted for a long time. From the age of 5 until about 30, I did plays all the time. I went to a performing arts high school. Theater was one of my 2 majors in college, mass communications with an emphasis on theater. I've been on stage, the largest crowd I was ever on stage in front of was about 2,500 people. And there's nothing like it. It's, there's just nothing.
Not me, dude. I mean, whatever. Not me.
Like it. And not everybody has that, right? Some people are like, the idea of standing up in front of 25 people and acting in front of them horrifies them. I got stage fright from every time I went on stage. The first minute that I was on stage, my heart was pounding and I was struggling to keep control of my breath, much less remember my lines and my blocking and all of the other stuff that you have to remember as an actor. But you get over it and you fall into character and you're okay. So I have that, right? I have that ego. So as I make these comments, I'm not slamming anybody else. I'm saying I've got it too. I like that validation too. I feed on it. I do. But I think when you pair skepticism and whataboutism constantly about everything with people like me that have big egos, those egos... I had a director tell me this a long time ago when I did a Godspell. I was like 16. It was the first time I ever got paid for acting. And we had to stop one day. I was over here. I was doing something else. I was practicing blocking or something. And suddenly rehearsal stopped. And I went over and I asked the director, because I looked over and the guy that was playing John and the guy that were playing Jesus were hugging, and they were both crying, like weeping. And I'm like 16 years old, and I was like, what's going on? Like, why are they crying? And the director said, well, the truth is, the bigger your ego gets, the easier it is to bruise. And boy, is that true on YouTube. It's like, I don't know if your ego gets so big that your skin gets stretched around it so your skin gets thinner.
And the bigger your ego is, the more likely you are to want to feed it as much as possible by doing whatever you can to get more and more validation. Your ethics go out the window. Your everything just it's all about feeding that ego. It's all about getting that validation. You would do anything to get more and more validation. It's an addiction. You can't help but feed that addiction once you have it. Yeah, and it can lead you to do some pretty horrible things.
But it's very easy to bruise some egos in this community. Very easy. Mine gets bruised. Listen, I left for a whole year. I left one afternoon. I was like, I am done. So I'm as guilty with this as anyone else. But I think that's why. And it breeds that toxicity, because if somebody hurts me, I got to hurt them back. Right? I got to hurt them back more than they hurt me, because they hurt me. You can't hurt me. Look how great I am. When I stream, people watch me and they like my videos and they comment on my videos and they join my Patreon and they're on my Discord. Look how important I am to these people. And when you hurt my ego, you hurt it's this feeling like if you insult me, you've insulted my audience, because my audience thinks that I'm great. And if I'm not great, my audience is wrong. And so if you say that I'm bad, you're saying that all of them are bad, because none of them think that I'm bad. They all think that I'm great. So by saying that I'm bad, you're calling my entire audience wrong. How dare you? I'm not attaching any names to this statement. It's kind of a general statement.
I don't think so.
But I think...
I'm pretty sure there were people that know exactly who he's talking about. And I think he did put names to it in his head, he's just not gonna say them.
I think that's why there is so much toxicity within creators in this community, because big egos, thin skins, and whataboutism. There you go. There's my diatribe. Let's see. Oh, Todd says, yes, that computer looks seriously serious. Thank you. Isn't she pretty? There's lots of fans. There's 9 fans in here, and then the big CPU cooler. These lights are supposed to be doing something right now, and they're not. So they're supposed to be doing stuff, and they aren't. So anyway, yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that I was going to go on this rant today about this. I'm glad that you brought that up. I think that's... Oh, yes. Yes. And snark. Don't forget snark. Yeah. Oh, it's this way. Yeah. That right there. Lots of snark. Because here's the other thing. I wanted to get into this in my rant. I forgot to circle back on this. A lot of the people in the skeptic community are intelligent. And intelligent people tend to be snarkier. And they intend to snipe more. My Patreon isn't working? Really? Okay. Well, I'll look at it later. It's fine. Join the Discord or something. You're already in the Discord. I don't know. I don't know why my Patreon isn't working. I have no idea. But yes, intelligent people are snarky. And when you get intelligent, snarky people with thin skins and big egos snarking at each other, they got to up the snarkiness, and they got to snark over other snark, and then you have a bunch of snark. It's snark exponential. It's exponential snark.
Snarknado? Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't know what he was talking about, so I... Whatever.
Die, I see your comment, but I'm not going to put it up on the screen. That doesn't... Lady Starfire, you can go to paypal.me/EthanPlaysLive and give me all the money you want. Yeah, so Patreon... Hold on. Let me check this out. Patreon.com/
Okay, that's about it for everything. I think I've done enough. Thank you for watching. I will be uploading this as soon as possible. It's gonna be up though. So, thank you for watching. Again, I'm honored that I have as many subscribers as I do. That's great. Given the channel I have, whatever. Peace.